like butter. I love when things work out. What's up everybody and welcome to my channel. Today, as you see in the title, we are rebuilding my front axles on my Subaru. So the one axle that runs next to the downpipe, that boot completely tore. As you can see right here, let me put it in the light. As you can see right here, completely tore. It was only a partial tear until I took it out and it busted. And then this one, I was taking out the ball joints, and when I was using heat to try to persuade it to come out, I melted this boot. So we'll replace this one as well. This already looks like it was replaced at some point because these are OEM clamps, these are not. And then this is what Subaru boots look like, more rounded accordion style, where this is a bunch of super sharp accordion. Anyway, definitely rebuilding both inners and this outer. Not sure if I'm going to do this one yet, considering it does feel somewhat fresh, but let me show you what we got. Alright, so right here we should have everything to rebuild both of these axles. These are the packs of grease, OEM Subaru stuff. I figured might as well, since they built the axles, I'll just stick with that. Here we have the inner axle boots for the 92 WRX. This is the exact part number we need. But then for the outer axle boots, which can be explained by the fact that one's OEM and one isn't, this part number is no longer available, and I couldn't find any part numbers from similar vehicles that might have superseded the part number for this outer axle boot. So we got some universal ones. These are their OEM clamps. This is obviously the larger clamp. Here's the smaller inner clamp. But all that stuff here, OEM Subaru. These I had no choice, but the 3 5/8 diameter fits. I made sure when I went to the parts store, so those will be good. Like I said, as you see here, this was replaced at one point. Still seems fairly fresh. Obviously down the line I would love to do a STI 6-speed swap, so I might just leave this for the time being, or I'll replace it. We'll see how I feel while I'm doing all this, but let's get started. So we'll start with the torn one. Let me get some gloves because it's going to be messy. Screwdriver, snap ring pliers. I'm going to get a drain pan to put the bucket in when it's all apart and all the bearings and stuff, so I don't dirty the counter. Then we have paper towels as well to clean up all the shit out of this before we pack it with new grease. Also, some cutters. So we got to get this off first. Alright. There we go. So on the inside here, there should be a little clip. I see it. If you look here, you see these little indents. That's where the clip is, so just stick the flathead in there and pry that out. So go in that little cutout and pry down. That's how you'll get a hold of this clip or this ring. There you go. Next, the bucket will come off as so. So we can see what we're doing. There is a C-clip in here somewhere, if I could see it. There you go. There's the two nipples right there. Nice and easy. slide right off. To the boot shall slide off. Garbage. So this is the boot that I have the part number for. 28023PA050. Let's put on this little clamp. Now we'll put on the boot. Now I'm going to clean up these bearings because I'm going to put new grease in them. So supposedly you're supposed to use the entire pack of grease. So I'm going to pack this with some fresh grease. I'm going to clean out the old grease from here, just so if there is any contaminants in there from when it ripped, we can get it out. Alright, so I packed the boot with some grease, put it on, moved it around so the bearings get covered. Now you got to put the clip back in and then seal the boot on. So now that the boot's on, I'm just moving it around, get the grease in there. Oh, good. Cool. So this side, I don't know if I'm going to do yet. I'm going to do the other axle first, and then I'll see. Next. Alright, next side. Alright, so for my research, the outer joint doesn't have that clip on the inside to take it off. So if you look in here, we're going to tap on the inner edge of this because there's a ring inside to keep it from popping off, and we have to hammer it off and over that ring. So give it a couple taps from here and hopefully it comes off. So in order to tap this off, I'm going to go down, so I'm going to switch it around in the vise. have some boxes underneath so that it'll be caught. I'm also going to use a piece of wood if I have one. Got a 3-pound hammer and got a nice hard piece of wood. Like butter. I love when things work out. It makes me so happy. Alright, I'm weird, I'm sorry. I won't talk like that, I promise. But yeah, see there's a little snap ring in here. So I'm going to clean out what I can. I'm not going to take this out. I'll just clean out some of this old grease. I mean, it's still probably good considering it was rebuilt. Also, since the boot wasn't torn, I'm going to say there's no contaminants that we know of in here. Just giving it fresh grease since we're in here. Let's put the clamp on first, then the boot. So considering this boot was already replaced at some point, I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm also going to clean this up, just take a razor blade around the edge so it doesn't look as goofy. But I find it interesting how much more malleable this one is than the stock one. So it's almost like I wish I got this for both sides. But what? This one lasted over 100,000 miles or 30 years, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll end up doing a 6-speed swap before I have to replace those again. But that's how you do it. The inner CV joint is much easier. Obviously, you have that ring that you pry out at one of the grooves. It pops right out, slides off, and then you have that snap ring, and everything comes apart. This one's a little more, fights against you a little more since it snaps in. But you saw I turned it upside down. I got a nice hard piece of wood and I put it on the inner race of the bearing. 3 taps with a 3-pound hammer and it came right off. So honestly, not bad at all. Definitely want a vise. Makes life so much easier. But I hope that's helpful. This is the first time I've done it, and compared to taking the ball joints out, this was a breeze. So I'll do this 10 times over before I have to take another set of ball joints out. But alright, so that's going to be it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Even though this was the first time I've ever done this, rebuilding the axles was 100 times easier than taking out the ball joints on my car. So almost, to me this was almost meditative, funny enough. But like I said, hope this was helpful. You got all the part numbers you need. This boot is discontinued. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you want to stick around for more, feel free to subscribe. So, see you in the next one. Peace. I wish I had something more.